So this is the outside. See where we at. Planting some onions right here with that peppermint in the back. That peppermint is going to grow like crazy, so I'll be able to break that off and put it not just there, but once it starts going crazy, I'll separate it and I'll put it in different places all throughout the property, because it does pretty good, and it'll also like keep down on something like mosquitoes and stuff like that. So I'll try to keep that around. So those onions came a lot in a container. I just started all this yesterday, so just be patient with me. So I put some over here. So these are directly planted into the soil. That's cilantro, carrots, arugula, radish, some more carrots, spinach, and then the cabbage I started in the basement in like little pod things. So then we have cabbage, kale, broccoli, lettuce, and Swiss chard. Swiss chard is looking kind of crazy, but when you start these seeds in the basement or wherever you put them, you got to really pay attention to conditions with the lighting and water. Sometimes they were drying out because I got so busy on the coop that I wasn't really paying this stuff no mind. And when I'm done, I'm probably like exhausted, so I don't even be caring. But we'll see how it goes. If it does not grow properly, then I'll go to the store and I will buy seedlings already made. Shed built that last year. All right, so here we go. It must have rained overnight, and then it's supposed to rain around 11ish today. It's about 10 o'clock now. We'll see. That's why I haven't came out here and started working yet. But so here's the shed. All the frame is up except for the roof. So what took me so long is not the actual building of the shed. That's kind of like the easy part. What took me so long was digging the trench, because as you see, our property is slanted. So on this side, on this right hand side, on this side, I had to dig a trench that was anywhere from 8 inches to like a foot all the way down in that corner down there of dirt that I had to dig out to make this thing all level. And the reason why I did that is because these 4-foot posts that are down the bottom are really heavy. And by me doing everything by myself, I didn't attach them together, which made me make a mistake, because this coop is supposed to be 6 feet wide. But in my haste to get started, I never cut these pieces on the sideway to 6 foot. So it's actually 8 foot, right? So, which is going to throw off the roof, because I should be able to use 8-foot boards to do the roof. But because I didn't make this 6 foot, now I need 10-foot boards to do the roof, so that I can have an overhang on both sides. So I'm gonna have an overhang on this side, on the right hand side, to keep the water off the side where we're gonna be putting where we're gathering the eggs. And then you want the water to come off the back side over here, so that it goes away from the coop and not in the coop. And same thing on both sides. You want to kind of keep the water off the ground. So then what I did was, the wood that's in the ground, because it's really made for ground contact, it's not really made for you to bury it. So it's going to get a lot of water on it. So what I did was I buried them in cement first before I started putting the wood back on it. All right. So that will help some if not most of the problem of the moisture getting into the wood on this side. Because you can't tell, but that side over here, I'll post the pictures under, I guess, but that's about 8 inches to a foot deep to make this thing level. All right. I also on this side, it's supposed to be 5 foot, 5'5", which means if you went on that side of the coop, you could possibly maybe hit your head on the roof. I didn't want to take that chance, so I made it 6 foot on this side, and it's about, I think it's 8 foot on this side. So it's wider than the plans that I bought, and it's taller than the plans that I built. So really, when I'm going through the plans, I'm just using that as a frame of reference of where stuff should be. And, you know, I make adjustments as I went along to make it make sense for my project. All right. So if you buy any plans online, you just want to, it's kind of like a guide. You can do exactly what they say do if you want, but it depends on what you're trying to do. For me, I needed to make some adjustments to make it make sense. And I see a board I need to fix because that door is not straight, and I can see it from here. But anyway, I'll fix that later. Oh, also, because I made it 8 foot, well, 7 foot on this side, 6 foot on this side, 8 foot on this, 7 foot on this side. This long piece that's sticking up right there has to have a notch in it for one of the beams to go on it. So I just left it 8 foot until, because I wasn't really sure of the size because I made it higher. So I have to make an adjustment there, which made this wall that's right in front, that has to be lowered about 1 foot so that it won't hit the roof. But that's like a 10-minute fix. So I'll take that apart real quick and drop that down a little bit. Like I said, I wanted to show you kind of like the good and the bad. Like none of this stuff is just like so simple. It's just like bang, bang, it's done. All right. So all of this is done with treated wood because it will get wet. I'm still going to paint it, but you want to try to start off, because this coop is going to be outdoors, you want to kind of use the best stuff for being outdoors. And when I looked at it, it was only about, I don't know, 80 cents more, maybe $1 more per board, but it's worth it because it's going to last a lot longer. All right. So anyway, this is the door. So you walk through the door here. Bam. Georgia spiders are no joke. They're everywhere. I put this floor down. This wasn't in the plans, but we're going to do a what they call deep litter method inside here, because this is where the coop will actually be, where they're living. Right. So this will be their house basically in here, and all this other stuff is just, all this other space is just for them to walk around in, because I wanted to initially make this so that it would be like this, like a small thing with electric fence around. But it's so many hawks around here, and we have coyotes around here, raccoons, squirrels. You got all these different things that could cause a problem. I said, you know what, let me just build something that's structurally sound, that'll keep everything out. So it's going to have a roof on it that'll keep the birds out. All around the outside is going to have wire fencing from top to bottom. There'll also be wire on the ground all the way around, at least 2 feet around, dug into the ground to keep animals from trying to dig in from the outside. This is all the stuff you gotta like do if you want to try to keep these things safe, because everybody likes chicken and all the predators like chicken. So just keep that in mind also. And I will give you guys a more update. So this is where real quick, this is where you're going to gather the eggs. I'm about to build the egg box today right here, but again, I had to play around with the the sizing and everything. This is kind of big for 5 chickens, I'm thinking now. But anyway, because the ground is not level, I wanted to have a box that opened just down so that you can gather the eggs and not disturb the chickens while they were in the nesting area. However, because the ground is so low over here, you're gonna have to lift up and kind of like dig under. So I think I'm just do one that'll raise up and it'll be kind of like right at the right height, because you can just, even the kids can go down and grab the eggs from outside. Yeah, so that's it. So I got all this dirt that came out of that hole has to be relocated, probably out there. Oh, just real quick while we're here, let me show you something. So one of the things you're going to need in any type of homesteading situation is access to water. So this trench, and you can't see this from my house when in the summertime, but if you follow this trench, and this trench is basically, it goes behind all the houses on this side of development all the way back. So any kind of overflow of water will go down this trench, and if you follow it down about 3 houses at the end, it's a lake. So that lake could be used for water if you know how to keep it clean. Like if you go down now, like I've never been down there, but I can see from the street, it's all green. So you have to find a way to purify your water if you want to utilize that as a resource. And we'll talk about that in another video also. All right, so just remember, like this, you can't see any of this stuff in the summertime. This is like full-blown trees. You can't see anything back here. I know it's kind of a long video, but if you got the time to watch it, you watch it. If not, no problems. I'll post pictures kind of like for the people that don't have the patience for these long videos. All right, catch you in a few.